who are looking forward to immigrate to America. So let's have a candid conversation and get to talk about a few things and also give you updates about um, all that has been happening behind the scenes in my life. I have been on the receiving end. Feel like things have been so hard in the past few months. I feel so much better today, so that's why this is a special moment for me. If you're new here watching this video, please support Atita Fitness. We are on the road to 50K for subscribers on YouTube. Also, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, Atita Fitness. So, guys, I'm very happy to be here today. Maybe this is the first time you're going to see me with short hair. I ended up like shedding my hair. It was taking me a long time to get ready because I have to use all the hair products and making sure that my hair is looking good because I see a lot of clients every day. So short hair, short, yeah, it's easy to take care of. So if you're watching me right now, please just go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching me from. Maybe before we start having this conversation, and please give this video a thumbs up and share the video with your friends. If you know there's someone outside there that you would like to invite. Shayla, hey, greetings. How are you, Shayla? Today I'm here, I'm happy. The internet is going to work very well. I'm not at work. I have a lot of time to talk to you guys. Give you more updates about my life and also just chat and share my culture shock experiences here in America, the things that I never expected that could happen to me. Kind of like bringing some awareness to some of you guys. So let me know where you guys are watching from. I'm drinking some tea. I'm a tea lover. I grew up in Kenya drinking a lot of tea in the village, in the countryside, going to the farm. Um, I did farming probably for like 10 years. And it's something which is me. Even like in high school, I did agriculture. So I have really good skills when it comes to farming and all that. It's something that I did for a long time. Do I still want to do it? I don't think so. It's so hard to go to the farm and come back home and all that, like too much work. But maybe in the future, it's more like my retirement plan, buying 15 cows, having fish pond where I have my fish, all that, a lot of chickens, maybe a lion or a tiger. So, hey, Shayla, thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. You like my haircut. I appreciate that a lot. I had some insecurity issues, going to work for the first time. My clients getting shocked, like, who is this, So I feel comfortable right now, and I'm so happy to be here today. So please, guys, go ahead and like the video. If you're not subscribed, just go ahead, take a Instagram and TikTok as Atita Fitness. And also remember to give the video a thumbs up. Thank you, Gertrude. Epic facts. Yeah. Hi, Atita. Hello. Where are you watching us from? So, guys, maybe let's dive into my culture shock experiences in the US. The first one was the first one that I experienced after stepping here in America. It's a extreme coldness. Like I was extremely cold. Like I was at the airport wearing my jacket, but I was still like shaking. I think it was around February, and it was almost the end of like winter, almost like towards the start of is it fall? Wait, let me see. After winter, Maybe you guys know better than me here in the US. Oh, nice. Yeah, we should connect. I'm looking forward to connecting to Americans, like, guys who are watching me from America, especially if we share the same culture from, like, Kenya and all that. I would really like that. I'm looking forward to grow like the community here in America, watching from the village in Kenya. Hedi, we are glad you're watching here. Um, yeah, spring. Oh, yeah, spring. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Jackie, thank you. Yeah, it was spring. I was cold, like very, very cold. And I think when you come to America for the first time, most of the Americans will know like you are a newbie, like you are a new person in the area, because you will be wearing like big jackets and all that, and everyone is maybe wearing a t-shirt because you feel like you're too cold. So they will always note like those small things. Let me know in the comments if you're in America, what was your culture shock? I mean, like your culture shock experience, so that maybe I can read some of them here. For someone who is going to watch this video later, watching from Ghana, Wendry, hey, thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. Guys, please also try to give the video thumbs up. Just take a moment and like the video, please. Okay. I see you guys. I see your comments. Also, please make sure you comment your culture shock experiences. All that. My second one was food. I didn't know like I was. Thank you for welcoming me. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So my food, I mean like food experiences. Coming here, trying to find restaurants that maybe you would like, or like places where you would like to go and find the kind of foods that you're used to eating. Especially for me, I came to like a small town, which is not really a big like city where you could find like restaurants from all over the world. So it was so hard for me to even find one of the African restaurants. And something that I was never aware about for like a long time, I didn't know like I was a vegetarian, like growing up, because back at home we eat everything from the farm. Maybe meat we used to eat like once or twice a month. Chicken and all that, like special occasions. So you would find people eating meat all the time. But here, meat is probably something that people eat every day, every single day. Like, yeah, it was like, oh my, am I going to be eating like too much meat? So I was kind of shocked with like how people eat like a lot of meat. Yeah. So thank you all for taking some time to watch. Yeah, I really appreciate it. So that was something which was kind of shocking to me. And again, like the portions of meals, like you're served a big plate of food, and I'm used to kind of like small amount of like food and all that. You go to a restaurant, you're served a meal that you might end up eating like for 2 days or 3 days. So that's where like I'm getting big every day. Again, like with training, going to the gym, I just feel like, yeah, maybe that's what's making me getting big. Yeah. Um, so I have a lot of things. I don't want to rush on like talking about all these things. I also want to hear your experience, and I hope you guys can hear me clear because I'm using the mic. So yeah, let me know if everything in the US is double in size. Okay, double in size. Yeah, I can agree with that, but not really everything. But yeah, for sure. Even like cars, uh, right now I've stayed here for some time. I don't really know like anything about big trucks. I feel like when I moved here, I felt like everyone drives like a big car, like a big truck. Yeah. But now that I've seen them like every day, that's something that you notice from time to time. But the more you stay, the more you realize like, oh, this is a normal thing. But I'm still stuck with like, small cars. I'm a small car guy, sporty kinda. But I've driven trucks and all that. They feel really nice, especially if you're going like for long distances and all that. I don't know. I like speed, not too much. I don't lean over speed. I stay like over the speed limit and all that. But I like just like taking off and going, taking corners, maintaining the same speed and all that. So, but moving here, I could see like a lot of big trucks, and I used to get scared because when you're driving as a new driver, in Kenya we drive on the left side, and moving here people drive on the right side. I don't know why, like America tried to do a lot of things in a different way from everyone else. Um, yeah, it was like kind of scary for me. It was a scary experience. Every time I went to the road, I could think like cars are coming towards me, and I don't know how that like happens. But each time I went to drive, I could see sometimes I kind of self doubt myself if like I'm driving on like the wrong side. And yeah, it did happen for some time before like those changes happen. And I think those are the things that happen in your brain that you don't notice. Thank you, thank you, Gertrude, for pushing us, guys. We are trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. I'm sure we are going to get there. A lot of things have been happening. I have been on the receiving end. I'm going to talk about other culture shocks for sure. I have like 20. I wrote them down, so they're here. So I will talk about them. But I also want to give you updates in between about what has been happening in my life. Today I'm so happy, but a lot of things have been happening from like, losing my grandma, which was like really sad, and not being able to go and be with family, especially my mom. You know, I love the roads, quite wide. Yeah, I love the roads here. Yeah, but I'm moving from like my previous place where I used to stay to another place, which is also like something that has been on the like on my mind for a long time. So that I have gotten like a lot of changes recently, like a lot of things happening, but a lot of good things for sure, like a lot of them, a lot that I never expected that will happen. But those are the experiences that end up shaping who we are, and we keep getting better every day. So if you were wondering why I wasn't really creating content, I think I've been on the receiving end and I wanted to take my time off. And also, it's so hard for me to, like, as a starter, for those people who are starting YouTube channels, if you're not really focused about the money that you're going to earn from YouTube and all those things, then you want to prepare your content. Like, this is not my job. It's my social life. I'm trying to build a brand. Atita Fitness is a brand. So I don't want to give like any kind of content outside there. I want to make sure that I'm connecting with you guys and making sure that I am giving, like I'm growing on what I do with the kind of content that I'm sharing, which takes some time. And you have to intentionally do all these things. Um, and the one thing that I realized, if you guys find some of my videos not really connecting very well, just know that I'm making a step at a time. I always sit back, watch myself, learn one or two, three things, watch other YouTubers. I have 2, 3 people that I really envy a lot. So I watch their content and get to see the areas that I need to improve. So the artist that you're watching right now, I am not going to be the same person in the next few years. I'm going to kind of like I keep making progress every day, and with your support, for sure, I will be able to get there one day at a time. Yeah, I appreciate that. So one thing that I've learned is I do all these videos just by myself, and it's something that I did for a long time. Even like I could tell you, I have spent probably more than $3,000 like on my videos. Even when I was back at home, I used to pay someone. I wish like Tony was here, or I have like a few guys that I used to pay to kind of like film me or like edit my videos because I didn't have like any editing skills. I decided to kind of like do everything by myself, and kind of being intentional with like cutting my budget and making sure that like I'm focusing on saving. This thing is not really earning me money, and me giving it money, like feeding it, and without seeing progress for some time, it was so hard for me. But thinking about it, I'm going to find someone who we have like our goals aligned and all that, whether like maybe it's I wouldn't bring like a relationship online. I don't think like I'm that kind of person. I feel like if I get hurt, my audience gets hurt and all that, unless like I get married in the future, then I will be able to introduce the family just in case if they want to. Unless if they don't, I wouldn't do that. But if someone is there, for sure they're going to be behind the scenes to help me film content. Of course, I'm going to find someone who is aligned with what I do, social lifestyle, and also fitness wise, for sure, 100%. And yeah, and I'm talking to a lot of people right now. So I think that there are ups and downs in life. Oh, I think that there are ups and downs in life, but it's how you go about about it that matters. Yeah, for sure. There are ups and downs in life. Someone told me recently that when you are going through your up moments, take advantage of that. Like do the things that you will appreciate those moments. Like when you're up here, just be happy. Go do something that you will remember in when like you come down here, like me going to Maui, having that time. I think it's something that I'm already like missing. Like I want to go back so bad, you know. um 17 people watching. Kindly give the video thumbs up. Thank you, Gertrude. Gertrude, like you guys have been very supportive. It was so hard for me the first time to convince you guys to be with me, to support me and all that, but I feel like I haven't been receiving anything else apart from like a lot of support from you guys. Like I watch my videos and I see like a lot of you guys have shared all the content that I create here, and like yeah, I don't pay anyone to do anything. You guys like selflessly help me to post my content, to do everything. If there will be a way of me like giving back to you guys, for sure I will be able to share it here. Like I'm a giving person. um, we are here to stay. Thank you, Shayla. And the best part is making a lot of friends. Like creating friends is one of my favorite thing. I think like I know that I'm a people person. So yeah, let's see. Um, people's obsession with time management. Um, for those who understand Swahili, kama sisi wenye tumeishi Nairobi, tumetoka Kenya, hata kama unaenda date, una realize like sometimes you tell someone utakuwa hapo like in 15-20 minutes, alafu unapata umekaa kwa traffic for 1 hour. So that's the people, who live in Nairobi, like who can understand my Swahili. So Time management, especially in like big cities and all that, it's so hard. I'm not saying like everyone here. What I'm sharing, it's more like my personal experience with the area that I've stayed, which can relate to most of the people who live here in the US. But my experience might be different from someone who's in a big city like LA, New York, and everywhere else, you know. So time management for the Americans is something that they consider like very big, like it's on the top. And for me, time management, like as Kenyans, we go with our time. Like there's a meeting which is starting in 2 hours, you end up showing up like 1 hour late. Even in school, sometimes we used to get in trouble because of like coming late in school and all that. And yeah, so time management. Let me see what you guys are talking. The reason why I'm always looking on the side is looking at what you guys are saying. We Africans don't keep time. Yeah, very true. It's so hard for. I think it's something maybe that we grew up with it because I find most of the kids here they get dropped like in school, picked up by their parents. Their parents are there 15, 20 minutes before they come out, taking them to other appointments and all that. So the time thing kind of like sticks with them forever. I think it's more like lifestyle. I wouldn't say like we Africans. I would say it's more like a lifestyle thing, you know. You cannot relate me with someone who is being dropped in school every day. And I grew up in the village where sometimes you're supposed to be in school at 7 a.m., sometimes 6 or 5 a.m., depending on which school you went to. And you have to walk 3 miles to school in the morning at 5 a.m., come back for lunch or maybe eat lunch in school, depending on like which school you went to, and then come back in the evening. Unless you're in a boarding school, day school, you have to do all those things because in the villages we don't have like those public means of transport. I mean transportation, yeah. So that's why we are long distance learners because of going to school 3 miles to school, coming back for lunch, going back to school. So you have to go for lunch within 1 hour and a half, and also coming late in the evening. And even coming home, sometimes you pass through some forests and all that. Sometimes you're being told like there's a hyena on the road, so you have to use like a different route. I think if you do that for 7, 8 years, which we did in primary school, covering up to 10 miles every day, you will become a naturally like a long distance learner. That's why like we show up when it comes to long distance learning, right? I've learned much living abroad. The time is everything. Yeah, time is money. How you manage your time. And before I go to the second point, let me talk about time. Kidogo, yeah? Living in abroad has kind of like created an impact in me of like using time wisely. Especially when you move here, maybe you find a job that you are doing and you have a few friends and all that. You will find that most of the people dedicate their time to working. And if you work for a certain period of time, you come to realize like you are trading your time for money, like clocking in, clocking out. You are getting paid according to the time that you worked and all that. So it's so easy for someone who is 31 years like me, seeing myself at 70 years, because you feel like you're trading your time with the money that you're going to receive. So it comes to the point where you have to make good choices about yourself. Like, am I getting enough for the time that I'm trading in? Or do I have to find other things that I can do? That's why a lot of people are always looking for new opportunities, new ways of making money, because you can easily predict with what you're doing how much you're going to make in the next 30 years. When you'll be 60 years, are you able to support your family and all that? So very easy. That's something that I never even thought about. So from Kabirigo High School, people to hey, so maybe this guy knows me from the high school that I went to. Tell me your name so that I can remember. Maybe or you were like in any kind of events, activities. We used to Kabirigo High School, which I went to, was like a Seventh Day Adventist school. So we used to go to church, singing and all that. We did a lot of events, and I feel like I miss the people from like high school a lot. But I really appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for subscribing. Thanks for sharing your story. Keep reaching towards your goals. Thank you so much. Roma World, we're glad you're here. So let's go to the next point, unless someone has something, one point or two that we can talk about time. But yeah, I want to remind you, if you're doing anything outside there, just know that you, especially here in the US or like in Europe, where you know that you're trading your time with money, try to look long term what you're doing, if it's gonna be like enough for you to have like a better living in the future, because it gets harder the older you get. Your energy goes down, and maybe you won't be able to do the things that you're doing right now. So yeah, hello, hello, welcome. I'm seeing new faces, so thank you guys for being here. Let's talk about the next point here. Dating in America. Are you guys ready for the tea? Dating in America. My experience again, culture shock. My culture shock experience with dating, I would say, hello, dear Tita, hello, was more of like, I would say, I feel like it relays on the culture shock side, like how I grew up, how people on this side grew up, like as a Kenyan who grew up in the village with tough parents, where we used to get a lot of punishments with the actions or like the things that we do. Uh, those are the things that a lot of people don't experience here. So my dating experience in America, I would say the first one was just like the emotional side. I wasn't emotional because I feel like my emotions were shut when I was young. Those are the things that I've learned about myself recently. And this is how my emotions were shut. Like looking back, you find that you want to do things, or like you were late to going to school, or like coming home from school, but your parents don't want to listen to that. They don't want to listen to your explanations, or like maybe you didn't do something because you were busy talking or playing around with friends, so you end up getting into trouble. If you show your emotions, let's say like if I start crying, my parents will be so mad because I am crying. Yeah, I would even get into more trouble if I ended up showing that like I want to cry. So that was hard for me. And now coming to the other world, where I feel like you have to show your emotions, you have to cry, you have, it doesn't really mean like I don't experience emotions. I experience them in a different way because I'm a deep, like, emotional guy. But maybe you might not see me crying for like a long time. But it was like a deal breaker for like a lot of people. Yeah. So the emotional side, we are way behind. I feel like most of the people here are very emotional. People talk so much about their emotions, how they feel things deeply. I had a hard time doing that, but right now I feel like I've gotten so much better. I'm very upfront about my emotions. Communicate everything. But I think like that's something that a lot of people don't have. And I want to know what your experience is. So this is a big one. Before maybe I can talk about two, three experiences. Hmm. Yeah, guys, if you're new here, please just go ahead and subscribe. Join the Atita Fit Farm. Um, Remember, we share fitness, content, lifestyle, and just like my general experiences here in America. Hmm. Yeah, it's okay for man to show emotions, and I think not a lot of not a lot of men have learned how to show their emotions. I had to learn in a hard way, and I had to take intentional steps towards experiencing my emotions, like breaking down, or if I've been hurt with someone, I just have to go through that process of like feeling hurt and not ignoring, like going out to drink, going out. It's so easy for you to push your emotions aside and doing other things. But nowadays, I go through the process. I experience them. It doesn't mean and I try to make peace with everyone that we have ended our relationships, all our parts and all that, because I don't like carrying those kind of energies forward. So I make sure that we are in good terms before we say like it's a quit. So experience emotions, make peace with other people, and just step forward. I was here when you did your first live. Thank you for coming back. Um, hmm. Yeah, I've been getting better like every day. I feel like I have to talk to the camera. I have to keep looking at this phone all the time for me to be able to know how to do this because it's all new to me. So I'm really trying my best. I am trying. If you find that maybe you're not connecting in one way or the other, for sure, we are going to do better. It's a step at a time. With your support, we are going to get there. And the main goal that I'm doing all this is to grow this channel. And maybe one day we'll connect people and they share stories, share our experiences, share our lifestyle experiences, bring awareness about fitness and nutrition, bring awareness about mental health. So that's why this is more like I have a lot of things that I could talk about relationships, about broken relationships, and all those things, which I'm looking forward to start a podcast very soon. I'm moving to new house where I'm going to put all the setup for this is something that I'm breaking to you guys so that you know like my next steps. So just if you see my videos doing a podcast or sharing them here, start following because I'm going to share more details on that side instead of mixing and matching things on this one here. Thank you, Shayla. Yeah, it's so hard being in front of the camera, like so hard um, to do this. Not everyone that can do it for sure. And also, I really appreciate content creators because creating content, it's so hard. That's why I'm like maybe everyone should be doing YouTube, but it's so hard. It's not for everyone. You have to be intentional about it. You have to keep doing it to get better. You have to make mistakes. The main thing that I was scared about is people watching me and judging me like the way I share my experiences, I talk and all that, and I work out at the gym, all those things. But with time, I came to realize that no one cares, you know. Thank you. So, yeah. If you are in Europe, if you are in America, let me know your kind of like your deal breaker dating experience here. Like, what was the main thing like for you with dating? Marine, there's nothing wrong with a man to show his emotions. Yeah, I'm going to share more details about the emotional side. I feel like it's a whole topic. feel like with the process, the procedures that I had to go through to feel like okay to sharing emotions will take the whole of me explaining like the whole of this video. So those are the topics, those are the things that I will be talking more on the podcast with some of my friends. Yeah, Tita, I had a culture shock with weather in the UK. My neighbors keep reminding me about how I woke up wearing winter jackets. Took me 4 full years to acclimatize. Not t-shirts, like, oh, okay. So it's also say talking about like his experience about the weather, like in the UK. I know like it's kind of cold, more cold in the UK than even like here in the US, because I know like in Europe most of the countries are very cold, like Iceland. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys can relate all these experiences. Any dating experience that maybe you guys have gone through which was more like a shock to you? Okay, so let's go to the next point. Tipping culture. Tipping is like, after eating foods and all that, how you're supposed to tip people. I think there's no one who teaches you how to do that. I used to be more like generous. You buy like, because I didn't know how to tip. I didn't know like there was a percentage of tipping. It's something that people do in Kenya. Like, not all people, but like probably like 10% of the population do tipping, but it's not a big thing. It's like you don't have to do it. Some countries in Europe have heard that if you try to tip someone money, they will consider it as a bad thing. But here in the US, it's something that like if you don't tip after like maybe eating a meal, that's like kind of being rude. So I didn't know anything about tipping, and what I used to do, you eat a meal of like $20 and you end up tipping like $7, like $10, because I didn't know how everything worked until I came to know like there's a percentage like you're supposed to kind of take out for like tipping and all that. So I kind of went through that process of like giving more, like being too generous, and I don't know what your experience is with like tipping. So yeah, do you guys have anything to say about that before we talk about um, another thing which is very common, which like kind of shocked me for some time, was when you move to America for the first time, you don't know anything about credit cards. So for me, I ended up taking intentional steps about reading and watching videos about credit cards and how you can build your credit. So since I didn't grow up here, everyone, you have to start somewhere. You have to start down here. When you start building your credit, you might start like on the lowest side and start building yourself all the way up. And doing that is by taking loans, taking car loans, or getting cards to use and then pay later. So that's what a lot of people do, and that's how they build their credit. I mean, there are many ways of doing, like, I mean, building credit by buying a house, by buying a car, and all that. Um, Americans tip more than Brits. British, yeah. It's a Western thing, not so much in Africa. Yeah, I agree. So, yeah. So, if you are moving here for the first time, maybe, I don't know, maybe if it's something that happens in Europe too, it's something that we don't have in Africa. So, you find that you have to intentionally learn about credit card. Otherwise, you can end up getting on the receiving end where you end up using too much money and you don't have enough to pay back. So I never got then. I mean, like I never got there because I was even very skeptical about taking credit. getting a credit card because I didn't want to get like a loan from anyone. And everyone that I met was like, hey, don't get yourself into credit cards and all that. So it took me some time before I did my own research and getting to know where like I could start, because these are all like new things. So if you don't have like people are going to explain to you and tell you how to do all these things, you might end up even living here for a long time before you can get to know, oh, excuse me, get to know how to do all that. So I don't like the percentage when tipping. I feel like they make a tip, but I prefer to give what I want. Yeah, I think like now I don't have to use the percentage when it comes to tipping. I just like tip what I feel like, if someone gave me like good customer care services, I just like tip them the way I feel like. But having that percentage kind of helps you know that you are not under tipping them. For me, it's more like about not under tipping someone, because people are like really good. I mean, like when it comes to services and all that, I think America goes up on that. Like, yeah, you guys do really well here. And if you don't do it for sure, people are going to see you as a rude person. Like you're kind of rude if, like, you are going to eat and not even tipping and all that. Like, who are you? Unless maybe you were mad or angry about the waiter or like the person who was giving you the services. So yeah, credit cards, just be. Have you ever had a heartbreak? I think we talked about relationship. Should go watch my back. But yeah, I've gone through like heartbreaks, not one, maybe two, like the biggest ones for sure, two. Um, that's why I wanted to hear your experiences about dating and all that. I've gone through a heartbreak. I think that's when I ended up taking intentional steps about my emotions and all that. And yeah, I feel like everyone goes through a heartbreak, right? It's good to accept it hard, unless you have a heart of like, I don't know, stone or metal. So it's not required to rude if you don't tip in America. I think I think like some people like I would, it's considered rude if you don't. Can you imagine like eating, someone giving you good services and all that, and you just pay and leave? Yeah, it's considered. I think even if they don't tell you they're rude, it's considered rude. That one, I will be honest with you. And maybe someone who is from the US will comment, like, with your experiences and all that. And like, I'm not really perfect. I don't know everyone. Like, I mean, like, cultures, especially in the US, depending on where you are different. So, yeah. Maturity, I'm not really saying like 100% maturity for sure. So we were on credit card. So just in case if you're going to come here, you might end up like taking a long time before you can buy a car, because you might not receive funds or loans from like any companies, like a car loan or like anything. You have to build your credit card. So you will have to go to your pocket to get the money to pay for like the first car that you're going to buy, or like use someone's car or use public means of transport. That's why most of the people who move to the US, they prefer going to big cities where they can use public means of transport, live here for some time before they can buy their own cars. Otherwise, it does take a lot of time. So those are the things that credit score will be able to kind of help you to um, get as you pay and build your credit, like a house. And nowadays, people say don't even get a car loan and all those things. It's considered rude if you expect a paying customer to pay a tip. A tip is no required, so it's not rude. It's rude for the waiter or waitress to expect it. Really? Okay, that's your experience. I'm going to um, agree with your experience. I think where I am and what I've experienced around, it's good to tip. Um, yeah, like I'm just saying with my experience. Okay, let's go to the next one. Do you guys have anything else to talk about? Let me see. What are your experiences? Because I also wanna hear like what you guys have gone through. Maybe before I go to the next point. You are American. Okay. Just know that like experiences are not the same, like especially here in America, because I've gone to different places where you, like if you go to California, you have to pay taxes even when you're eating food, you know. Uh, that's not the same thing with Oregon. That's not the same thing with Seattle. So there are some things that apply to some locations and all that. It's like being in Nigeria and coming to Kenya or going to South Africa, especially for those guys who come from like Africa. Kung Fu Fanta is going hard on this one, but the person being tipped, you should not expect it. Yeah, I think you shouldn't really expect tips and all that, but I feel like it's something that even the government has talked about, like tipping and all that. I could tell you, Americans, if they don't tip you, they will feel like, yeah. I have talked to some of the clients who have told me they went to some countries in Europe where they ended up eating and they're giving, they want to tip, and the person that they were tipping kind of like rejected the tip because, so it's like an American thing. That's what I meant. Okay, okay. I admire your honest. Thank you. So let's go to the next point, unless you guys have something to talk about. I think I've talked about the work culture. Like when it comes to work, it's something that you're going to trade your time for money, um, experiences, and all that. So that's where you see a lot of Americans going for vacation, finding time to go celebrate their small wins and all that. Um, Something that I never experienced. It was more like a culture shock for me. I didn't know like I'm going to work for a certain period of time and then take a break. It's like you are in school, you know. You study for 3 months and then you have like 2 weeks to go home and be with family and then come back. So that's how I feel. It kind of gives me the same feeling with work. You have to work and then have more time, build your time, paid time off, take some time off, go enjoy, and then come back to work. Kind of like relaxing and like freeing your mind and connecting with yourself and all that. So yeah. What about you guys? Let me see what's going on the comments. Work you be on time, yeah. Time punctuality is very important. Like how to be punctual at work every day, every time. If you're sick, you have to communicate. You have to find someone who is going to cover your shift, or someone who is going to, if you're a teacher, nurse, and all that, something that you have to communicate, to talk about it before, like immediately when you are going through like something. Let's say you're feeling under the weather. It's good to reach out to people who are going to cover for you. So, yeah. Okay. We have talked about work. I have like 2 more to go. But again, there are many, many. Let's talk about what I see all the time, language barrier and accents. So language barrier and accents is something which is very big. A lot of people come from the East Coast, West Coast, and all that. They have like different accents. It took me a long time because I have to talk to everyone and just hear that they're speaking the normal English. But someone could say, you have an accent, is it from the East Coast? I'm like, I'm not even like hearing an accent on this person from US. Now, after like staying here for some time, yeah, for sure you can tell like there's a difference with accents, the African accents, the African American accents, the people from like different backgrounds, Texas and Washington. Yeah, accents and the language barrier is a big thing. We do have you will meet like one or two people who don't really like speak English. Maybe they speak French, Germany, or Chinese. Okay, so those are the things that you will experience here a lot. I've gotten to the point where I had to use my phone to be able to understand what someone was trying to communicate. Yeah, I think it happens everywhere, especially like in big cities where you experience that. I mean, like you find that people are traveling from different regions of the world. Yeah, so your experience with culture, I mean, like with a language barrier and accents on the comments. Let's hear what you have to say. And to be honest, this is me being honest. The first time I thought like Americans speak way fast, like they speak, their English is way fast. So I have to pay so much attention to grasp all the words that they are speaking. But now that I've been speaking and talking and listening, it's getting so much better, but it's something that hits you like, why is everyone speaking way fast? So sometimes it's even so hard to keep up like with a conversation. I didn't know like I had to do direct translation from like my second or first language to English, then communicate it out because your mind is trying to think about it before you can communicate. So something that you will see outside there from time to time. But if you've watched videos before or if you have edited video, you know we have that fasting forward, like fast forward maybe with 1.2x or like 1.3x. That's how I felt the whole time, like speed talking, like everything is just going through my ears. I can understand some words, I can understand what we are talking about, but I'm not really grasping all the words. So yeah, great chat. Weather, work ethics, punctuality, tip culture, building credit history. Chris, did you talk about language barriers, like something? Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me, but yeah, that's what we are talking about. Thank you. In my I'm in my I mean my over 18 years of employment. I've been late not even once. Oh really? Yeah. Should I saying in the past 18 years of our working experience, she has never been like late, not even once. But asking my Kenyan friends, the guys who are in Kenya, you wait for your boss, you have a meeting which is supposed to start at 8, and it doesn't show for like an hour later. And then it's giving excuses about, oh, I was in traffic, I was doing this and all that, and you guys end up like now sitting for 2-3 hours. So I'm going to talk about two other most important things. It's good to tip all through. Yeah, I had some people say we speak fast, but we are slow compared to the British. They're the master of their language. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Americans speak so fast. Like that's very true. That's why like even when they go back to other countries, you will find that they have someone who's going to translate what they are saying because they speak fast. But again, British English, it's also like they kind of speak fast for sure, and you might not even like understand most of their words. Oh, British in the house. Shayla, I didn't know that. It's good that I'm getting to know you guys. Kung Fu Fanta, now I know that you are from the US, but tell us which state you are in so that maybe we can mention about your state. My other culture shock was going to church. Uh, coming from where? Oregon. Where in Oregon? Where? So I was going to talk about Sharon, California. Okay, you guys are just around here. We should meet. We should meet sometime. Maybe I will make a WhatsApp group chat and bring you guys together so that we can hang out, right? It's good to tip all the time and never late. Yeah, that's very true. So I was going to talk about going to church. I feel like coming from where people go to almost like 95% people go to church. On Saturday and Sunday, you're seeing people like well dressed, happy, singing, um, a lot of like pastors with sounds everywhere, like preaching and all that. And now to coming to where like sometimes church or religion or Christianity thing is not something that you can have a conversation with everyone. So you have to know who you're talking to and all that. So that was like a big thing for me. I had to hold myself back, like, okay, so I shouldn't talk to everyone about church because not everyone goes to church or knows anything about going to church, you know. And here people respect people's beliefs and all that. But if you were in Kenya, for sure, people will troll you online for not going, I mean, for not even talking about God. Even like, there was, oh, really? Wow, okay. So, yeah, church is not such a big thing. Maybe some states, especially like Utah, where they have a lot of Mormon community, but I don't know about other states or like yeah, like other places. I'm talking mostly about like the places that I've experienced already. So let me know what you think. Like, what have you experienced about church here in the US, or like maybe if you're an American and all that, share your experience about going to church. Okay. Kevin is one of our best people on this YouTube. Oh, now I know. He was filming, yeah, in Portland. I do come to Portland actually on before the 15th of this month. I'm coming up there to stay for like a weekend, so 2 3 days. We have like African artists who are going to come and perform in Portland. We have Trevor Noah also coming for like a comedy night and all that. I like going to one of the shows once in a while. We don't want trolls here, please. Yeah, we respect. Now I respect everyone is like, the way you want to live your life and all that. If you're comfortable, you don't hurt other people and all that. I think that's all that matters. I'm not really going to push my ideology or my beliefs towards anyone. It's something which is big, like even when it comes to dating, you have to ask someone like, hey, are you a Christian? Do you have any religious beliefs and all that? It's such a big thing. So you have to ask to make sure that you are God. I mean, like your ideas align with the other person, you know. So, yeah, I think that speed of speech is an individual thing. I think that most British um, speak at the same speed as you. Really? Yeah, I agree. X2. Actually, like, there people speak way fast. I used to make friends, and these guys, we start having a conversation, and now I feel like I have to be way attentive. Like, I have to drink coffee or an energy drink to keep me, like, hyper attentive to keep up with, like, the conversation. Because sometimes you end up being slow, and someone is waiting for you to finish the statement that you're talking about, and they're like almost sleeping, you know. So I'm upping my game every time. Maybe I'm on X, I mean like X 1.2, I mean 1.2X. I want to get to 2x, so I have a long way to go. I know you live in Kenya now. I have to go. Some people in here are giving me a headache, pressing. Gertrude, no. Gertrude, stay here with us for a short time. We have like less than 10 minutes. I think I'm almost even done with the things that I was going to talk about. So, um, independency of young people. I was going to talk about the independence of young people. When I was 18 years old, I didn't know anything about working. What I did is like just going to school, and you're being told that you go to school, make sure you get this grade so that life can be easier for you outside there. Like kids here who are like 14 years old have already achieved a lot of things that a 25-year-old person in some other places have not even like achieved. So the independency of kids here is way up there. Like once you hit 18 years old, parents want you out of the house to go start your lifestyle. Parents start introducing you to working when you are 18 years. Like the independency of like the American kids is on another level. Like you find that they have traveled all over the world at the age of 18 years, when like you are back in school, you are like, you don't know much about what's happening around the world. So that was more like a big eye opener thing to me. Like, oh wow, yeah, 18, 20, 21, like they have like full independence about their lifestyle, about everything. The drinking age is 21 years old here in the US. But again, like I know most of other places, it's 18. So yeah, like Mexico 18. I don't know about Europe, maybe 18. Yeah, America 21. You have to be 21 to legally drink. But that doesn't mean like a lot of kids don't drink. You have to. Being here in Oregon, another big culture shock was smoking weed. You will find like probably like a lot of people smoking weed and they love it. Even young girls, even you just go on a date with someone and they tell you like I have to smoke weed sometime, something they're open about. And me coming from where weed is prohibited, and we have a lot of people are serving 10 years jail term in prison from just like smoking weed, or maybe they cops came to their homes and found that have a farm of like weed. So it was like a big culture shock for me. Like, wow, you can just publicly smoke weed. And for those ones who attended like science classes, teachers telling us like if you smoke weed, it stays in your brain for 7 years and all that. Now that I know what's going on, I'm like, hey, where did you get your research from? From where? Teachers used to scare us about weed. Like, I never even saw weed even when I was 25 years old. I didn't know anything about weed. Like, even I had to go to the farm to kind of look at weed, how it looks like, because I never smoked. I never knew anything. I've tried it for sure. I wanna be honest. I've tried it like twice. Is it something that I can do? I don't think it's my thing. The two times that I tried it was more like having fun with my friends and all that. And I'm like, hey, let me try it. And the next day I woke up with like a bad headache. I felt like I'm not myself. I have like fear of not really depending on my brain, depending on my actions. So when I feel like I'm not really being myself, then I just step away from that. I know some of the people will not talk about these things, but like, judge me or not, I'm myself. I live in my body. I know how to take care of it. So yeah. Okay. Another culture difference, more independent children in the West compared to, lots of the Africa where our kids are more subject to helicopter parenting. Yep, very true. You will find like I was 23, 24, 25 years old living with my parents, and I was very comfortable with that. The only thing that we have is like, hey, build your house before you get married, all that. So it's something that sticks with a lot of African kids. Like they have to build their own houses before they get married. If a woman tells you to smoke weed to be with her, run at it, run. Kung Fu Panda. with with the rate of how many girls smoke here, almost like everyone, you talk to them and you're like, this is my biggest deal breaker. For me, like, smoking is like a big deal breaker. So uh, you end up going to 3, 4, 5 dates and you're like, no way, I'm done. Hmm. No, we just lost the calculators. No, what happened? Tell us. But Atita, the weed issue is a global one. Even in the four villages of Africa, people smoke. Changa, yeah, very true. It's a human problem. States in the US will vary too. It's a huge country you live in. Yeah, I agree with you. Um, Smoking weed, it's not like the whole of America thing. It's some states. You can go on the American map and try to see which states allow like the weed thing. So it's not like an all over thing here. But people who like to smoke their plants and all that, probably they go to the weed states. That's not, I think I didn't come here because of like the weed smoking and all that, because it's not really like my thing. And I don't really, I would say like I don't like the people do it. I think it's their lifestyle with their choices. So I have like friends, like good friends who do it. And sometimes I don't know, I don't see them like as weed smokers, or like I don't see it because we are still like good friends. They don't do it when we are together and all that, so it doesn't really bother me. I've tried it. It's not my thing. Yeah, it wasn't as but oh no, yeah, that's really sad. Yeah, nowadays just appreciate life. Do what makes you happy 100%. Like do what makes you happy. The way we said, life has ups and downs. When you're going through the up moments, try to enjoy life to the fullest, because the one thing that we don't prepare for in life is problems. Problems will find you. We are always here chasing for happiness all the time, chasing to be happy, because our mental state and everything else want to feel good. So we are chasing that. But just know that life is not going to be, even if you get all the money that you want, everything, you will still have the problems. You will still go through challenges. I've seen people achieve, accomplish all everything that they want. They end up having a bad healthy issue. You find someone who was really doing, not doing good in life. They get all the money, and all of a sudden, someone is diagnosed with cancer, or like maybe they're having cardiovascular diseases and all that. So like we are always going to deal with issues. I think when you have your moments up here, try to enjoy them most. When you feel strong, when you feel like your body is feeling good, just do those things that you enjoy. Because I don't know what's happening. Because when you come down here, you feel like everyone is running away from you. The world is even going away from you. You feel like you're just by yourself. But again, because of the mental health issues and all that, try not to be lonely. Find friends, find the people that you can talk to, because yeah, it can get serious. Just talk to someone. Nowadays, we have TikTok. Just go live, talk to people, especially in the States where like it's so hard to make friends, which was something that I was going to close with. I was going to close my video today with the last culture shock experience of like friendship. Here you have to be intentional with making friends. You will have to step either go to church or go to social gatherings so that you can make friends. And you have to be intentional about the activities, the things that you guys are going to do so that you can meet. We don't have like the casual meeting of like, hey, what are you up to? Just let's go somewhere, let's meet and do something, which like we used to do a lot. You have to be intentional, like, hey, let's go to the waterfall, let's go to the lake, let's go camping, let's go hiking. Like people want to do activities. So the other things of like, hey, let's meet, let's do this and all that, it's not there. Even calling someone, like you have to even text them like, hey, do you have some time so that we can talk about this and all that. I like that. It kind of makes me feel like people respect people's privacy and all that, instead of like someone just randomly calling you at the middle of the night and you're like, wow, what's happening? Yeah. So those kind of things. But I have enjoyed being here with you guys talking about my culture shock experiences. I hope that you guys get to share this video with your friends. I'm getting back. I introduced this video by saying that I've been on the receiving hands about a lot of things happening in my life. I feel now I've gained my ground back. I'm going to get back to creating content and getting better on the roads. If you guys are here, like Kung Fanta, um, maybe if you're in Oregon, let's share some experiences and all that. Let's try to motivate each other. Let's try to do things that will add value to other people's lives. Let's bring awareness about mental health and everything else. Maybe something that you've learned that you think can help someone else outside there, because you know nowadays it's all about the information, what do you share with other people. Yeah, lots of secondary school kids in UK smoke stuff in school bathrooms, especially the rich. Yes, kids. Yeah, I think that's one thing that I don't like, that kids have access to smoking or like vaping and all those things, because they're not really good for you. You get to hit like 40 years old, but your lungs are probably like wasted, because you get used to you get, I mean, you end up getting an addiction to how do we call it? I think there's this product they use in cigarettes. So I don't remember. It's gone. So if you get addicted, because it's more like a stimulant, if you get addicted to it, it's going to make you smoke it all the time. And it kind of makes you feel happy. It makes you feel good. Nicotine, yes. So if you smoke that from time to time, and I feel so sad because I see that all the time. Like even young kids are smoking. Like you're probably killing your lungs. If you do the medical checkup reports and all that, you're going to find that you've damaged your lungs for like 60%. So if you damage your lungs, anything internal, if it's damaged, it kind of reduces your lifespan by like even 20, 30 years. As much as I care about the physical look, like working out, getting stronger and all that, I try also to be aware about like my internal side. Like is my heart health? Am I having good blood pressure? My veins kind of like, you know, transporting blood and all those things very well. Like those are the things that you end up being aware about, instead of just focusing on the physical looks. That's why like I will never even try to use steroids in the fitness industry, which like a lot of people do, using things to kind of enhance their physique, look a certain way. I think I've made decisions where like I just want to be who I am. I want to influence the crowd that I want to influence, and I want to be maybe a role model to one or two people, you know, not really everyone, because I also have like role models, and these people, they even don't know me. So yeah, so guys, 20 of you, 20 people, let me see what you guys have to say, like closing remarks, and maybe I will be doing more of these videos at least every week to catch up with you guys, to make sure that you guys know what's happening behind the scenes, because I feel like when I connect with you this way, it kind of makes me feel that I'm not really losing traction of like what I'm doing, you know. And kindly, if you see me posting like my short videos and all that, remind me like, hey Atita, make videos about this and all that. I feel like those ideas will help me before I find someone who will help me to film content and all that. I feel like if I had like a second person to help me with filming and I can edit and all that, I can improve my creativity to another level. But now sometimes I go somewhere, I want to film something, but I don't know how to do it without like a second person, and I don't really like asking people about, hey, can you help me do this and all that. So it, it's it's hard, but you know, kind of making a step at a time. Um, hmm. It's been a great time. You speak so calmly. Thank you so much. Thanks for a great session. Been wholesome now, mind stimulating. May God continue to bless you. Amen. Thank you. Kung Fu Fanta, you're welcome. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for staying with me. I really appreciate it. I think sometimes it's good when you have certain kind of information and you have the crowd or the audience that you can share with. So I try to do that. And I have a lot of things to talk about, but I am being intentional about writing them down so that I can talk about them, because sometimes I go to sleep and I'm like, oh, I wish I can do a video about this thing. And then I get like 20 points. I don't know, maybe my brain going through like something. I don't know how to describe it. But like I do get like so many ideas, and then the next morning, if I didn't write them down, I forget everything. I even try to think about them, like what did I want to do, and I can't even remember. So now I'm more intentional about writing all those things down and making sure that I come here to talk about them once in a while. Like now I have my laptop on the side. That's why like my eyes are going here to try and see if like I remember everything. And I'm so glad, I'm so happy that you guys are here. Yes, stick notes. I will keep doing that, and I keep learning something new like every time. Shayla, thank you so much for being here. And Shayla, you have been so supportive. I really appreciate. Onella, I remember like you joined us like some time back. Thank you for coming back. Namaste. Thank you, the UK people, the people from South Africa, Jamaicans, and people from the US, Kenya. Thank you guys, Nigeria. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. So, love. Bye, guys.